What's important this week? What's important this week? You have to ask yourself that question. If you don't ask yourself that question when you are starting your week or trying to plan your week, it's not going to go the way you need it to go. That question is actually going to guide you through this entire exercise. So we're going to talk about how to plan the most successful week that you've ever had in this video. When I started planning my week like this, changed everything. Okay, so this video is for you. This video is definitely for you. If you have never planned your week before, if you hate Mondays, and if you feel stress or anxiety before going to work, this is going to help to level a lot of that off. For watching and implementing what we go over in this video, over the course of a week, you should be able to experience reduced anxiety, reduced stress, reduced overwhelm. You are also going to have increased focus and increased clarity, okay? Because we are going to really be honing in on what's important as we plan this week. So I remember when I first started planning my week, I had like a bit of a mental breakdown in the car because I didn't get something I wanted and I had to be stuck with a job that I didn't love at all. And I remember that's when I made the decision to start planning my week, because up until that point, I was just kind of hoping my way through the week, hoping things would go a certain way, but I wasn't really living my weeks out with intention. So that's the whole point of this, is to really bring intention to how you plan your week, how you approach your week. So you really don't need much going into this exercise. I will ask you to reserve 1 hour on a Sunday to do this. For this to really work, that first hour is going to be crucial, or that 1 hour is going to be crucial. And then you're also going to want to get a notebook. I have a Moleskine notebook. These are my favorite notebooks. I use their sketchbooks as well. It's very high quality. Then I also use gel pens. I don't have any around me right now. A little bit on the pricey side, so just get whatever notebook you can have. But I will say that higher quality paper, higher quality outcomes. So as we approach this exercise, we're seeking to plan an intentional week, okay? And typically when you plan a week with intention, a lot of attention goes to what's important. Therefore, you're going to have higher quality outcomes. So we're going to focus on 4 different areas, and I just call them 4 areas of focus. And what you want to do as you approach this exercise is give 15 minutes to each area. All right. I'm going to ask you to open your mind, use your imagination. You're going to want to really focus on just having vision. Okay. The old proverb says, without vision, we shall perish. So I really want you to focus on what it's going to take to have the ideal week. You're going to really have to believe it and be willing to think in best possible outcomes. And just remember to ask yourself as you go into this, what's important this week. So what I like to do when I plan my week, I like to make sure I get into a really cool space. And that first area of focus that I always write out is going to be personal/family. Now, this is an area that you really want to give that full 15 minutes to. You might even want to steal a bit of time from the other areas of focus, because this is going to be your anchor for the week. This is about you. This is going to truly move the meter. If you're going into every week with anxiety, it's probably because you don't have a lot of focus on yourself. So a few of the things that I like to put in this personal/family space. First of all, you really want no more than 3 to 5 things to focus on. Again, you want to ask yourself what's important this week. And I usually put in like appointments or family things, if I have to talk with my wife about whatever, or take my kids to different, places. But you can also use it for just spiritual purposes. So prayer, meditation, journaling, reading. That personal part is really important. It's really important to focus on what you need to focus on to move yourself forward, to move your life forward. And this also, you talk about paying yourself first, and here's an example of why you want to focus on yourself first. When you talk about getting on an airplane, they'll talk about the mask falling from the little cabinet, and you have to secure yourself first. Okay, secure your mask first, and then you could help other people. So that's why this first area of focus is so important. You really want to focus on your family and yourself, and anything with the home, so bills, anything like that. So that's the first first area of focus, family/personal. Now, the next area of focus is where a lot of people get tripped up. So most people suffer anxiety on a Sunday night. And one of the reasons why is because they're thinking about Monday. And lots of times they're thinking about things that may have happened in the past, and they're thinking that it may happen again, right? We all have that person where it's like, they better not say something or else, right? So this second area of focus is going to be professional/work. And you want to really use this space to map out how you want your overall work week to go. Okay. And if there are things that bother you about going to work, like maybe traffic or specific people, write it out on a separate write it out on a separate piece of paper. All of your anxieties, all of your issues, just write it all out. And if you have to read it, you know what I mean, a couple times just to get it out of your system, and then just tear it up, because we have to concern ourselves with ourselves. The whole point of doing this section is to focus on things that are going to progress you professionally. So if it's in your current role, you might want to find some things that will allow you to move forward in that role. Maybe you can look at other positions, you can look at other responsibilities. If you don't like your current role, you can look at other positions, you can network, professional network. So use this space to move the money forward, right? You can use the personal space for the money too, but I just like to keep the family and the spiritual separate from the professional and the money, because they're really two different things and require different mindsets. So no more than 3 to 5 tasks to attack, okay? But you really want to use this space to begin to reduce the anxiety of the upcoming week and really just allow yourself to live in the moment. That's why we're going to spend an hour on this whole thing and 15 minutes on this space, so you can just get out all your anxieties. So the second area of focus for planning the most productive and successful week ever is to focus on your professional and work. So this third area of focus is certainly changed my life. So at one point in my life, I was like 335 pounds, 340, something like that in my 20s. I was a really, really, really big guy. And I remember when I just made the decision to get in shape, I went to this club and I tried to dance with somebody, and I had all my friends with me, and it was like early 2000s or something. And I remember going to dance with the lady and she shoved me down, and I just knew it was because of how I looked. I was big. I didn't really have a sense of style. I still really don't have that much of a style, but it really pushed me to just make my temple dope. And it's not necessarily to impress anyone, but I think it's just an expression of my values and how I carry myself by focusing on the physical, which is the third area of focus. Physical activity is incredibly important. It's going to spark your body, and it's also going to spark your mind, because if you work out, and I like to work out earlier in the day or in the morning, it just really pushes you to engage with other people at a high level, because you have that natural energy from working out, whether it's running or lifting weights or climbing up the stairs 10 times if you don't have the ability to go to the gym. If you don't have stairs either, you can take walks around the block. If you live in Phoenix and it's 170 degrees outside, you can do paces and lunges throughout your room. There's so much that you could do. Just give yourself 15 to 20 minutes per day for 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, of some type of physical activity. I promise you it's going to change your life. It changed my life for sure. Now, before we get to the fourth and final area of focus for planning the most productive week in your life, the most successful week of your life, the most intentional week of your life, if you are finding any value in this video, I'm going to ask you kindly to like, share, subscribe, smash it, smash all the buttons, share with your friends, share with your people. It's the most positive page on YouTube you're going to find. Over time, it's the most positive channel on YouTube by far, and you will see. So I thank you for sticking with me. We are going to progress together. All right, and now we get to the fourth and final area of focus for planning the most intentional week that you've ever had in your entire life, and that is going to be personal development. Let me back away. That's going to be personal development. Okay, personal development is everything. I talked about it in my last video. I'm sure I talked about it in other videos. Personal development is going to move you forward, and that's what you want. You want something that's going to allow you to grow. The essence of life, I once heard, is growth, and I believe it. I want to be, okay, It's a best practice to strive to enhance yourself, to increase yourself, to be better than you were yesterday. So personal development, it can include things like journaling as well. If you're not a big reader, you can journal your gratitude, you can journal your victories, you can just journal out your day. This practice is going to put you in a space of starting to journal, because you're going to have to think for an hour every Sunday about what you want and what you want your outcomes to be. And they might not all come together or at once, but if you're really focused and intentional on 3 things, okay, so that's 3, 6, 9, 12, that's 12 things. I had to do the math like that. I'm not smarter than a 5th grader. You have to be intentional and focused and have a lot of integrity about your self-development. You have to hold yourself ruthlessly accountable for your development. No one's going to come and save you. Okay, now if you're in a space that you don't want to be in, you do have the power to change it. I know, because I come from a space that I didn't have much. All right, I moved out to Phoenix, Arizona with a broke television. The TV was so broke that I had to turn it with the key. It was one of those old TVs with the knobs. I didn't have nothing when I came out here. Okay, so you could do this. I had to learn my way to where I wanted to be. If I could do it, you could do it. Just use this technique. So that 4th area of focus, the 4th and final area of focus, is going to be personal development. You can read books, you can journal your goals, you can journal your gratitude, what you're grateful for, you can journal your victories for the week. There's just a lot, and then you can look back and you can see how far you've come as you've pinned all of these things over time. So that's the 4th area of focus, to personally develop yourself. And that is a wrap. Again, this is The Art of Being Freed. Planning my week like this changed everything for me. But again, before I was hoping my way through the week. I really didn't have a game plan. And you could start, if you don't want to start by planning your week, if that's just too daunting of a task, try planning your weekends. Because the first thing I did was I planned my weekend because I didn't want to waste it. I was trying to get out of a job that I did not like at all. And I was like, I got to be productive during the weekend. I can't just be sitting here watching the Jeffersons all day. You know, the Jeffersons is a great show, by the way. But I was like, I got to plan my weekend and make it, count for me and pay off for me later. So, use these techniques to advance yourself. I promise you it's going to work. Okay. I promise you. All right. Like this, share, subscribe, new episodes every Friday, The Art of Being Freed. All right. If you want to get daily doses of motivation, follow @Freed Podcast on Instagram. We dropping daily every day there. And if you want to see some more of the art, all this art in the back I drew, you can follow me @Call Center TV. I'm posting monthly on there currently. I did a cool picture of Orco and some AI art in the back that I coded. Follow and we'll keep going. And this your boy Freed with The Art of Being Freed. With that, I will see you next Friday. Peace.